A clip from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We're going to keep this podcast flowing. We're going to watch a clip from AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who says some very, very concerning things. And if you pay attention to her words, you can see how she is framing her dialogue to make speech a possibly bad thing, to go after our freedom of speech. And remember, before you watch this, one of our greatest strengths as the people, our power, our rights, they give us power. Our freedom of speech, they give us power. So when you listen to a politician who, again, thinks you're dumb, AOC is one of those politicians that thinks you're dumb, and they're attacking our freedom of speech in such a way to frame it as though it could be a dangerous thing, red flag alert. Red flag alert. Watch.
I think both of us were in alignment on.
Did you feel safe sitting there with him?
I think it's uncomfortable serving with people who engage in what many experts deem stochastic terrorism, which is the incitement of violence using digital means and large platforms, so that individual themselves may not be the one that's wielding a weapon. But I have had to ride, as has Representative Omar, consistently had to ride in 20,000-pound armored vehicles in.
Apparently, AOC has never heard the phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me." You've heard that one before, right? There was AOC. Did you listen to her words? Phrase one's ability to speak as terrorism. She is an excellent actor. People like Gavin Newsom, AOC, they are excellent actors. And they play the victim very well. I had to ride in a armored Humvee, a 20,000-pound armored Humvee, because somebody said something mean and their words equated to terrorism. They think you're dumb. And they are that was a deliberate attack on our freedom of speech. Remember, our freedom of speech, our ability to speak freely gives us power. And if the government silences that, then they are taking our power. And the way for them to silence that is to gain public trust and say, we need to silence that speech. We need to have the power to silence the speech of the people because that speech is dangerous. They cannot do that. If they do that, they are taking our power. They are taking power from the people. We need to retain that. As I mentioned in one of my previous episodes, things like our freedom of speech, things like our Second Amendment, and the rights in the First Amendment, those give us power. Those must be retained if we are going to retain power to the people, and if we're going to even have a shot at taking our power back from the corrupt government, from the corrupt corporations that have taken so much power from the people. Be wary of politicians such as AOC who label one's speech as mean as it possibly can be. I get it. There's bullies out there. There's people who say mean and dumb things and vile and disgusting things, but speech should be protected. And yes, that includes hate speech. Hate speech, my friends, is still free speech. And it is very dangerous when somebody like AOC is such a popular politician as she might be, to play the victim and say that we need to essentially, I mean, she didn't say these exact words, but to say that, oh man, somebody's speech is essentially an act of terrorism. And she was, oh man, again, somebody was said something mean, and I had to go protect myself and ride in an armored Humvee. Give me a break. She thinks you're dumb. Don't be dumb.